So welcome to today's Mor Acro show. Kevin is taking a little break from making YouTube videos today, so I'm gonna do a video, and I decided we're gonna talk about something that a lot of people kind of ask in the past, and this is cost of living in Morocco. So we did some videos of shopping at the souk or showing the prices at different restaurants, from street food to like middle range or even high-end restaurants, but it's all kind of scattered around the channel. So today I decided to talk about the cost of living in Morocco. So first, I would just like to explain a little bit about our situation. Because when you search for cost of living in Morocco or any other countries, it usually goes by cities, big cities like Casablanca, Marrakesh, Rabat, Tangier, and so on. And we don't live in a big city, so we decided to live a little bit out of the city because we prefer beaches and nature and smaller towns. So we live approximately 15 minutes out of Agadir, north of Agadir, in a village where it's mostly local, so there is not a lot of foreigners living here. There are some, but not too many. And this village used to be known for surfing, BC, so before Corona. Now it's gonna be almost 1 year since we are in lockdown, and there are almost no tourists here. So it was kind of touristy area before, but at the moment is not, because there is not a lot of tourists. I'm saying this because this influences the prices of rent and so on. So we're gonna start with our rent. We did a tour of the apartment. We're gonna add the video, so we're gonna add a card on the top so you can check our apartment. And we pay 2,500 dirhams for the rent here. As I said, this is not in the city, is a little bit outside of the city. But basically we have everything we need here. We have bakery, we have shops, we have restaurants, we can order food for delivery. We have Moroccan restaurants, we have just regular restaurants where you can order pizza and burgers. We have Let's Be, which is very healthy option. We have sushi. So we can walk pretty much everywhere. We can walk to the beach, we can walk to the mountain, we can walk to the pharmacy. So basically for our needs, everything is here.
Or no, Melania can't throw that far.
Excuse me, that was Mor Acro coming from the terrace. So we pay 2,500 for this apartment. As you might see, it's 2-bedroom. Like one bedroom is really small, but it can be used as a bedroom for guests, let's say. This apartment would cost 2,000 unfurnished, but we don't have like any of our own furniture. There is another apartment upstairs, which is also 2,500. It's 1-bedroom apartment, but it has direct exit to the terrace, which we don't have here. We are on ground floor. So if we want to use the terrace, we have to exit the other door, go upstairs, and there is a small terrace for us. Our neighbor, he's paying 3,000, but he has 2 bedrooms and the terrace, so it's 3,000. Another friend here in this area is paying 2,500 for a 1-bedroom apartment, but nice private terrace as well. So I would say in this area, apartment starts with 2,000 unfurnished. And of course, if you go closer to Agadir, it's gonna be more expensive. I would say starting 3,000 to 4,000 dirham per 1-bedroom apartment. And this goes for all the cities. Of course, if you don't want to be by the beach, if you don't mind to be like in the mountains or in the villages or more on the countryside, the prices are gonna be even lower. Our friend in Ouarzazate is paying 800 dirhams for the apartment, but it's like very Moroccan apartment. There is no windows. There is no Western toilet or shower there, so it's very basic. But if you don't mind, so if you like simple life, you can get like apartment for 800 dirhams. Of course, not in the city and not at the beach, at least not at popular area as this used to be. If you want to rent the whole house, I would say it's gonna cost you approximately the same, 2,500 to 3,000 per floor. So we showed one house, Tarek's house. We're gonna add the video here where you can check his house. It's like 3 floors, I think, and the terrace. And let's say the price for this house would be 8,000 to 10,000 dirhams. And again, this is out of the big city, so we are not in a big city. Of course, if you want to have a pool or anything like that, it's gonna all add up to your housing. Next thing is utilities. So we pay for the electricity each month 80 to 100 dirham. I don't know why, but we don't pay for the water. So I think water is included in our rent because we never got the bill for the water. There is also no bills for the garbage. I don't know why, because we have like a huge garbage bin outside, but I think it's paid by our landlord. We just paid for garbage once. It was 20 dirham. The guy just knocked on the door and they gave us like a small receipt and we gave them 20 dirhams. We pay for the gas. We have 2 gas bottles. One is for the stove and one is for water heating the water. And one gas bottle is approximately 43 dirhams, and we change them every 2 months, but we have 2. So let's say 43 dirhams per month for gas. So those are our utilities. So I would say that's maybe 150 per month max. And another thing is that we have at the moment is Wi-Fi, and we pay 240 dirham per month. Before we were 3 people splitting the Wi-Fi, now we are 2. It's not the best Wi-Fi, but it's not the worst. If you are looking for a Wi-Fi, I suggest you to try different options because not everything is gonna work for you. Next thing, food. So food is like that. If you buy your fruits and veggies at the local markets, you can save a lot of money. If you're just gonna go to big supermarkets like Marjan, it's gonna be, of course, more expensive. But as you might notice, we go to the souk every week, almost every week, and we buy a bunch of veggies and fruits and even lentils, pasta and stuff like that. So we basically do our weekly grocery there. And then in the small shops, in the hanuts here in the village, we just buy whatever we need, maybe some yogurts and so on. Bread we buy from the local bakery. And if you watch some of our souk videos, you might see that the kilo of veggies starts or even like 3 dirhams per kilo. Fruits 5 to 6 dirhams per kilo, which is like 50 cents. And berries are more expensive. Let's say kilo of strawberries is 12 dirhams. You can also buy like really cheap bread. Moroccan flat bread starts at 1 dirham. Baguettes at the bakery are 125 dirhams. So it's really affordable. Let's say lentils, half of kilo of lentils at the souk or half of kilo of pasta at the souk is 5 dirhams. So prices are really low. So it all depends how much you eat or what do you like to eat. Kilo of chicken here in the village from the chicken guy is 30 dirhams. Yeah, 30 dirhams for kilo of chicken. So we just buy it here locally. And of course, if you want to buy cheese, that's more expensive. Let's say hard cheese, I think it's 100 grams is around 10 to 12 dirhams. And other cheeses are more expensive. So if you like a lot of cheese, be prepared to pay more money. So those are just some basics. Oh, and the water. So we buy big jugs of water, 5 liters. And the one that we buy, Atlas, I think the green one is 12 dirhams. So those are just like some prices just to give you the idea how much does it cost. One more thing is transport, which it's not always the best, but you can always find an option. If there is no public transport, there is always going to be some sort of taxis. In the big cities, you have petite taxis or small taxis, which are really cheap, really affordable. And you can usually go everywhere in the city for 20, 30, 40 dirhams. It depends where you go. The buses here are really affordable. One-way ticket from our village to, let's say, Agadir is 5 dirham or 50 cents. The same shared taxi. So if we want to go to Agadir with shared taxi, is usually 10 dirhams per person, which is like less than €1, which I think it's really good price for a taxi. In between cities, we travel by bus because here in South Morocco there is no train, and usually we pay 80 to 100 dirhams for, let's say, 3 to 4 hour journey by bus. So let's say Essaouira was 80 dirham, and bus to Marrakesh is usually around 100 dirham, which I think it's really good price. The best buses are CTM buses, as we also told before in the video, but you have many local buses, many options, which are also cheaper usually. Now we don't have a car, as I said. We have everything here that we need, so if we want to travel, we just travel by public bus. But if you want to rent a car, it usually costs around 250 dirhams, so 23 euros per day. And if you rent it for longer, you can negotiate for better price, around 200 dirham per day. Gas, I had to check the price of the gas because, of course, we don't buy gas. And I think it was around 10 dirham per liter. Diesel is even cheaper. And yeah, that's about transport. So it's not always available or easy, but there is always somebody who's gonna pick you up or gonna just drive you. Sometimes we just stand by the road and people just like pick us up, and then we pay them 5 dirhams to drive us to the Agadir village, which is bigger village where you can buy more stuff. There is a post office and so on. Another thing, gym membership, which is quite popular. Even here in this village we have a gym. I don't go because there are only men there, but Kevin paid 200 dirham for a month, which is like 18 or 19 euros. So those are just like some basic things that I wanted to cover in today's video. Of course there is like a lot of other things that you can buy or spend money on. One thing that we don't spend money on, and it can make a big difference in your monthly budget, is cigarettes and alcohol and clubs. So I know that's like a lot of people like to go to clubs and bars and just have a nice drink and dinner. Yeah, you're gonna spend more money. I think one cigarette is 1.5 dirham. So you can buy cigarette per piece, or you can buy a box. Box is usually, whole box is, I don't know, I would say like 25 to 30 dirhams. Alcohol, you can buy alcohol in liquor shops or get it at a restaurant. Wine starts, like cheap bad wine that I do not recommend, starts with 40 dirhams. But if you're buying wine, I would go for like middle range from, let's say, 70 to 80 dirhams per bottle of wine and up. Of course, if you're buying wine at the restaurant, it's gonna go up again. So maybe expect to pay for a bottle 200 dirhams and up at the restaurant. The most expensive beer I had was in Tangier, at this place, and I paid for one beer around 80 dirhams. So yeah, if you like to go to nice places, to nice restaurants, and spend on drinks, cocktails, and so on, you can spend a lot of money. Yeah, okay, another thing that I forgot to mention are doctors. According to some Western prices of the doctors here are very affordable. We did a dentist video, which was removed later, but we went to the dentist like 2 or 3 times each, and each time we paid in between 200 and 300 dirhams each, which is like very affordable compared to some prices in Europe. Yeah, we actually never went to the doctor, but I did. I went to the laboratory and I did like some tests because I wanted to check some of the what's going on in my blood, and that was around 1,100 dirhams, but there was like a lot of things in the results. It was like 5 pages. So I don't know if this is expensive. I would say no, and I cannot talk from my own experience because healthcare in Slovenia is free. So if I would be back home, I wouldn't be paying for the laboratory or the dentist. So those are some prices. So if you are here and you want to visit the dentist, I would recommend you to do that, definitely. Another thing I wanted to talk about, people are often asking about the prices for the apartments. We didn't really do our research because we are not buying apartment here. But just recently, I don't know if you remember, when we go to ANZA souk, sometimes you might see in the background new apartments and new building. So they are building a big residence there. I'm gonna add the link so you can check the residence. And they have these flyers and commercials, and the price starting from 7,500 dirhams per square meter for the apartment. So let's say if you want to buy for 40 square meters apartment, it's gonna cost you 300,000 dirhams, I would say. And again, this is the residence that they are building just next to ANZA souk. So it's not in Agadir, but if you have car, you're gonna be in Marina of Agadir in 5 minutes. I'm gonna add also link to this residence so you can see what they are building, so you can see the prices. And they have like this nice 3D presentation of the residence and the buildings and so on. So yeah, I would say 7,500 dirhams is the price starting for 1 square meter, but bear in mind that this is not in the city, is in ANZA. But again, Agadir is very close. So if you have car, I don't see any problem. Of course, if you go into the city, the prices are gonna go up again. So that's about it. I hope I managed to give you the idea of the prices here in Morocco. Of course, I was just talking from my own experience and experience of Kevin and the area where we live in. So I hope you can get the idea. And if you have any more questions, about cost of living, or if I wasn't clear about something, please let me know. We're gonna add some links in the description under the video so you can watch some previous videos on cost of living, like souks and restaurants and so on. And yeah, I think that's about it for today. I hope you liked today's video. Thank you all for watching. I know you guys requested this video many times for many different reasons, and I know I don't have all the answers, but I would say you can live like simply but very comfortably here for, let's say, 500 euros. If you want to spend 1,000 euros per month, you're gonna live very good. You can eat good food every day. You can eat outside every day and enjoy your life a lot. I guess it depends where are you coming from, but I think 1,000 euros in some of the cities in Europe is not a lot. And yeah, I think you can have pretty good life in Morocco. So thank you for watching today's video and see you tomorrow.